Man, Controller of the Universe, painted by Diego Rivera, presented by yours truly, Jesus Rios. Diego Rivera was born on December 8, 1886 in Guanajuato, Mexico to a wealthy family. He had a twin brother who had died 2 years after their birth. Diego Rivera had married 4 different women before his death. Most famously, he had married, divorced, and remarried Frida Kahlo, another one of Mexico's greatest artists. Diego Rivera died on November 24, 1957 in Mexico City from congestive heart failure. Prior to his death, Diego Rivera was a member of the Communist Party in Mexico. He was also an outspoken atheist, so much so that he painted a mural that had a sign that stated God does not exist. The mural was not shown until after he decided to take the words out 9 years later. When the Museo del Palacio de Bellas Artes opened on November 29, 1934 in Mexico City, the general public finally had a chance to see Diego Rivera's man, Controller of the Universe. At 15 3/4 by 37.5 feet, this epic work demands attentive viewing. Less than 10 months earlier, Rivera's first version, originally titled Man at the Crossroads, was destroyed at the Rockefeller Center in New York City after months of controversy. Rivera was in the midst of a prolific period where he began this mural. His retrospective exhibition at MoMA opened in December 1931 to positive reviews and contemporaneous mural projects in San Francisco and Detroit that enhanced his celebrity status as one of the greatest Mexican muralists. Yet something went amiss with the Rockefeller Commission, whether it was censorship, a miscommunication, or something in between. Rivera's Man at the Crossroads became one of the most infamous artworks that never was. At the center of Man, Controller of the Universe, there is a worker who directs an enormous machine at the crossroads of the political ideologies dominating this period. Capitalism to the figure's right, and communism to the figure's left. Though the composition is bursting with activity, Rivera establishes order by using the central figure as a vertical axis. If we fold the scene down the middle, spaces and objects align. This arrangement encourages comparisons between the two sides. For example, at the top of the capitalist side on our left, the central figure's right, the brutalities of World War I are on display. Rivera underscores how capitalist nations use technologies such as poison gas, machine guns, and warplanes as destructive forces. If we continue to focus on the right side, we see key figures in the workers' movement such as Leon Trotsky, Friedrich Engels, and Karl Marx, standing at the foot of a headless classical sculpture brandishing a swastika. As our gaze moves to the lower right, we realize workers are seated on the sculpture's decapitated head. Man at the Crossroads was a fresco. A fresco is a painting done rapidly in watercolor on wet plaster on a wall or ceiling, so that the colors penetrate the plaster and become fixed as it dries. The earliest frescoes known came from Bronze Age Greece around 1600 BC. Here's one of them. Another fresco is The Last Judgment, painted by Michelangelo. Another famous fresco is The Creation of Adam, also painted by Michelangelo. If you notice, frescoes tend to be more religious and in particular align closer to Christianity, as do most other Renaissance era paintings. The art style of fresco is most famously used to paint the Sistine Chapel from 1508 to 1512, painted by Michelangelo.
That's all, folks.